Welcome to All About the Bay. I'm your host, Paul Joy. Every week we interview exciting people in the Bay Area. All About the Bay, by the way, is sponsored by the Money Market, your Amazon for mortgage solutions. If you're looking for any kind of loan, the All About the Bay, you can find that from the Money Market. All right? The Money Market is sponsored. On the show with me today is an amazing woman. I just met her for the first time, man. That's why I feel so excited about what I do, because I meet exciting people all the time. She is Dr. Alka Chopra Madan, right? Dr. Alka Chopra Madan is the founder and CEO of Global Women Power. Wow, my mom is a woman. I got two sisters are women, and things that happen in the world. I can't understand this. Women are the ones that's bringing women and men into this world, yet they have the least power. Why? Why is that? Today, Dr. Chopra is going to tell you how she's empowering women. So is this your mother, your sister? Guess what? She's going to tell you everything about how to get the power to control this world. I think it's about time women took over the world. Welcome to the show, Dr. Alka.
Thank you.
Do I call Dr. Alka or do I call Dr. Chopra Madan?
Alka is good.
Alka, good. All right. That's your first name?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So you said you're a doctor of what?
I've done my doctorate in metaphysics.
Metaphysics. So I think when I was still a student, I heard something about physics, and something vaguely about metaphysics. What is that?
So physics is all about this world, in which you are selling your mortgage and your loans and all these things. It's talking about the physical world. Mm-hmm. Metaphysics is beyond that. Mm-hmm. The world where we come from and the world where we go to. Mm.
So it's okay. So out of this world.
Out of this world.
Okay. So let's talk about most of our audience is people in this world, right? You talk about people in this world. So right now, what's happening right now? We have something. And I was going to call this guy a buffoon, and this is not political, right? So today we're going to talk about, your organization, right? The Global Women Power, right? So before we talk about that, I'm going to talk about this guy is killing people in Ukraine, and you think he's like exercising some power. And before that, many years ago, it was this stupid guy too called Hitler, and killing people and think that's power. And you see, around the world, you have men doing all this nasty stuff. You as a woman, how do you feel? You got the guys that bring people into this world. Would you think that if the world was controlled by women, if women were in power, do you think a better world? Do you think that it would be a better world?
See, it is a very controversial topic. I do not want to say anything on that, whether women will be a better choice than man. I think both are complementary, because it took me a long time to define my purpose through Global Women Power. I do not want to sound feminine. I do not want to sound that we are doing something which men cannot do. So the whole idea about my organization is it's a bridge between people, those who have more power, than the people, those who have less power. Mm-hmm. So in this, I chose my side of gender is like women. So I just decided to make a big network where one woman can help another woman. So that's the whole idea about Global Women Power. Maybe I did not answer your question about the Russian president, what he's doing, but I'm just bothered about my scope of work, what I can.
Yeah, but women have. You said earlier that women are weaker, right? And emotionally and physically. Does that have a positive side to it?
It does. It does, because sensitivity is the most important thing for living.
Yes.
If you're sensitive about yourself, your family, your neighborhood, your city, country, world, that is what is needed, because you have to think from the other person's perspective, and a woman is blessed with that.
Okay, but let's talk about why did you start this thing, Global Women Power?
Yeah, so what I think is that being a woman, one should not think that one has to enter in men's world to exercise power. Mm-hmm. If you're a woman, you're frail, you're of thin stature, even then you can exercise power. You know, so that is what I wanted to validate through my organization, that
Yes.
you are complete in yourself. It's not like you need some power from men's world.
Yes.
And my whole idea of this organization was that, you know, I saw lots of violence being committed against women, and then there are so many agencies which are helping domestic violence, and I came across such women, those who needed help for their domestic issues. So I thought, you know, listening to their story, like who said what and what happened and how did they end up in domestic violence,
Yes.
I will ask her, will you like to do something better in life? And then she will say, what can I do? I cannot do anything because, you know, he is after me. So I will say, okay, but are you ready? If you're ready, then I can help you. So it will take me some time to bring out of her that urge to change herself, rather than being in that circle of like, he is doing this to me, he is doing that to me, his mother is doing this to me. So I just changed her focus.
Yes.
You know, like, don't cry. Let's bring up some skill, find a better job, go outside, work from 9 to 5. You know, that will change your mindset.
Yes.
And maybe you will not be that angry woman who is being beaten up by the husband.
Yes.
So that's what prompted me to start an organization on a positive note.
Yes. So you started here in America, and now you are all over the world?
Yeah, I'm almost in 10 countries now. It's so easy to, you know, start with this organization.
Right.
Though later on it changes into a business organization as well, because women network with each other, they find jobs through each other, they give business to each other.
Right.
But this topic somehow touches everybody. Okay, let's get together.
Right. Right.
Right? So it's expanding very fast.
So you have chapters?
I will say the regional, I go by the country,
Okay.
and then country opens the chapters.
So let's say somebody wanted to start something in Taiwan, for example. What do they do?
So the first step I do is I call that as power mixer.
Yes.
So in power mixer, you know, group of women, they come together.
Yes.
And mostly all those women are from some power source, you know, like some having established business or maybe established in some their career. So they come together, they bring lots of power together,
Right.
and then they own some area in which they will start working on that. So that is the first step to start.
Okay. And where do they find you? They find you online?
Online.
Okay, cool. And it's like you said, power women. So are you reaching out to government agencies and stuff?
So over here, I got contacted by Fremont City.
Okay.
Because Fremont City has a beautiful organization. It's called Fremont Resource Center.
Okay.
So they wanted to build a bridge between the city's duties or services and the community leaders.
Right.
So they recognized Global Women Power as one of the bridge between people and the city. So that is I am on board with. And then also I do not go a lot with government organizations because I do not want interference the way we want to work. You
Okay.
know, follow this, follow that.
Right.
So it will be called as a non-government organization
Okay.
in most of the countries.
Okay. So you started like 7 years ago. And how many people are part of this organization now?
I will say if we put together those who are actively working, they will be around 4,000 to 5,000 people.
Wow, okay. So those are workers. And they mobilize
Yes.
other women. And they just like evangelize your message.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So tell us some ways how you empower women.
See, the first basic example was there was this cleaning woman in my house, and she couldn't speak English.
Yes.
And then all the workers, those who come with him, couldn't speak English at all, total Spanish. So I started referring her some business, go to my friend's house here and there. So then I started taking interest in her. I said, how about if you learn, you know, how you can market yourself on Facebook? So I then told her Facebook, Nextdoor, and then make flyers, put here and there. So very soon she had about 30 houses.
Wow.
So now she doesn't know how to handle all that. So then we started looking for women. So that was my first example, our first venture in expanding, empowering somebody.
Right.
So that woman's name is Laura, and maybe I will share with her. And she's no longer doing the cleaning business anymore.
Right.
Somebody else is doing for her, and she's working as a bilingual help to a doctor in doctor's office.
Wow. Okay. She's a translator.
She is a translator.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
Yeah.
And so, but her business is still running.
Business still running.
And she's not the one doing
She's
that.
not the one
So
who's
she's
doing it.
actually doing what she really enjoy doing, which is translating.
She wanted to sit in an office and sit in front of computer. That was her dream. So she's living her dream, and the business is still running.
So would you say that you find out what people are doing, and then you find out what's their pain, right? And you see, okay, what they could even be better at than what they're doing right now.
So I recognize everybody has some barrier in their growth.
Right.
I just ask them to look at that barrier and not to agree with that barrier and how to cross over.
Yes.
And they need gentle push.
Yes.
You know, and they need somebody to fall back upon. Little
Yes.
push,
Yes.
because they're already trying to do something. It's not that I have to drag somebody out from their bedroom and ask them, hey, get up and start doing something. Right?
Right. So we are all about the Bay. Okay, All About the Bay is a small business network. Okay, basically we have small business owners in the Bay Area, and so you do a metaphysics. You know, what do you see some of the pain points for small business owners?
At present, you know, living in Bay has become pretty expensive. Maybe that is the most painful point.
Right.
When I was in city also, with the city resource center, I saw that, you know, small business cannot afford employees at a higher salary,
Right.
and employees cannot live on a lower salary.
Right.
So that's
Yes.
a big pain point.
Yes.
So I just, you know, encouraged a lot of entrepreneurship in people.
Yes.
Those who, you know, are not being paid well.
Yes.
And then how can they can start small businesses.
Right.
And how they can network and can expand from their kitchen, you know, or with the help of friends, or with the e-commerce,
Yes.
selling online.
Yes.
So those kind of things, you know, I encouraged in Bay Area.
Right. So how about small? That's people who are employees. You encourage them to become entrepreneurs. How about those who are already entrepreneurs? But I mean, like most of our audience, right, or most of our members. How do you help them?
So I will say that in this pandemic area period, so what I did is I brought in many virtual jobs.
Yes.
People, those who are business owners here, they can hire virtual assistants all over the world.
Right.
So I connected people
Yes.
globally so that
Okay.
they can hire administrative assistants outside this country and can pay them less and have more work done from them.
Right. It's interesting. Okay. So you're watching All About the Bay, brought to you by the Money Market. So if you are looking for, somebody wants to buy, sell, or refinance, the company go to is all about the Money Market Inc.com, moneymarketinc.com. Again, you're watching All About the Bay, brought to you by the Money Market. And today with me is Dr. Chopra Madan. That's Alka Chopra Madan. I'm sure you're enjoying this. Empowering women. But it's not just empowering women, it's also empowering men. So if you're watching this and you want somebody to empower you, maybe you're a small business owner or you want to start a small business, maybe working full-time for somebody and you don't like that, Dr. Madan is a person to contact. Now, let's continue, Dr. You talk about guaranteed ways to expand your business. We're going to talk about that. One of our events is coming up soon, so you're going to talk about that. So what are the guarantees? Okay, somebody's a small business owner. And I know that you talked about that lady, right? She was cleaning in your house, and now all of a sudden you expanded her horizon. And now she's doing what she really enjoys doing, and where money's working for her. That's what Robert Kiyosaki talks about, right? In the book Rich Dad Poor Dad. Okay? So let's talk about this thing about guaranteed ways to expand your business, very briefly.
So if you talk about me, I came here 21 years ago with $20 in my pocket.
Oh, wow. That's very typical of you came from India?
I came from India.
Right.
But I wasn't even a computer literate person,
Yes.
So the way I developed myself and my business,
Yes.
so I think that goes hand in hand.
Yes.
You cannot expand your business without developing yourself.
Yes.
So the biggest barrier between you and your business expansion is you.
Yes.
So that's where my metaphysics comes in. If I handle you, handle your fears, your barriers, and help you make more determined being, you will expand your business. So that's where the guarantee word comes in. Because if I can get hold of the person who is going to stop the growth of the business, I can fix him.
That's interesting. So you're saying that for most small business owners, the reason that they're growing because they're actually the stumbling block.
Yes.
You know, they are basically the obstacle themselves.
Themselves.
So
Because they, if I tell them an idea, they say, no, it cannot be done. So I say, why? They give me XYZ reason.
Yes.
So I ask them to dissect those reasons.
Yes.
And underneath those reasons, there's nothing there.
Right, right.
But they're holding on to that reason
Right.
forever.
So let's talk a little briefly. Why do you think that small businesses are stuck? We talk about, you know, having employment or employee issues because they cannot pay those salaries. But we just talk about now the metaphysics part of it, where you talk about is themselves. I mean, because they could avail themselves to the money and all those things and pay high salaries. So briefly speaking, and this is what we're going to talk about when we meet, right? But briefly, somebody's watching this, they might not have the opportunity to come into the mixer, right? But they have the opportunity right now of listening to you. So let's say that 3 things that you could do for a small business owner to expand to scale. What would it be?
I will
What
say,
would it be?
I will say that first is increase your knowledge.
Right. Okay.
You stop doing that because you get so fixated on expanding business, getting the revenue in.
Right.
So in increasing your knowledge about yourself, knowledge about your target client.
Yes.
You know, so know them holistically. What do they need? You know, sometimes you are selling to somebody that person doesn't need. He might need something else. You know, you are trying to sell somebody a loan, but he needs a maid at home.
Yes. Yes.
So you help with that need first.
Yes.
Then you make a friend out of him.
Yes.
And then he comes back to you for the loan
Right.
also. Right. So knowledge is one.
Right.
Second is, you know, overcome your fears.
Right.
Right.
Yes.
And third is show up.
Yes.
Show up means whatever you say, you deliver. You know.
Yes.
So I have about 10 businesses at present.
Yes. Okay. Wow. So you're a woman of great power.
So people think that, you know, I'm a very smart woman. You know,
Right.
I said you don't have to be smart to run a business. You have to be trustworthy.
Yes.
Person who can be dependent upon.
Right. Right. Yes.
So for that, you have to be a holistic being
Yes.
to hold the business.
Yes. So like say somebody, you know, you only have 24 hours in a day. And out of those, basically, you're going to sleep 8 hours or 6 hours and stuff like that. So, and what would you say, basically, what would be your advice to small businesses? I mean, you got 10 businesses. How do you run 10 businesses?
I think, you know, I always distribute my power.
Yes.
I have other people helping me.
Yes.
So I just make the framework
Yes.
and I tell people what to do.
Delegation.
Yes.
So you create, right? So as a small business person listen to you, I mean, they have these ideas. The great thing is to get away from doing everything yourself, right? Just create the stuff. That's what you're supposed to be. I think I read this book.
See, like a small business owner, I tell him that make a website professionally done.
Right.
And he will say, no, I can do it myself.
Yes.
I said, don't do it yourself.
Right. Right.
Your
right.
website is your shop.
Yes.
Give it to a professional.
Right.
Don't pinch money over here.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So that's how I say, you
Yes.
know, when you want to expand, do it in a standard way and you
Yes.
will get standard results.
Right. Right. Have you read the book, The E-Myth? No, The E-Myth. Yeah, I think I highly recommend that book. And if you're watching this, I highly recommend that book. And I met the guy himself. He's in his 80s, but you think he's in his 50s or 60s. You know, he's in San Diego. The E-Myth, he just you know, articulates the issue that faces, the number one issue that faces small business people or entrepreneurs. You know, it's basically instead of being the inspiration, right? You are the technician. You cannot be the technician and be the one that is going to expand the business. You're going to be the idea and let other people run the business. Would you agree with that?
100%. So I call myself visionary.
Yes.
So I keep my vision clear.
Yes.
I don't want to work.
Yes.
If I start working,
Yes.
my vision goes away.
Yes. Yes.
So I have to live for the idea.
Yes.
What new idea is coming?
Yes. Okay, that's good. Somebody listens to you and say, okay, you don't work. Make other people work. And he's going, okay, where do I get the money? You got to pay those people. So how would you answer that?
See, means that's how I started. I didn't have money to pay people,
Yeah.
but then there were people, those who are ready to work. I said, come on over together, let's work and then make money. And then you take your share, I will take mine.
Right. Okay.
And then there are so many people like this, they
Yes.
will be ready to work with you if you come up with an idea
Yes.
and then show it to them
Yes.
and then how it can be done. So that's how people come on board with you.
And then how did you expand your business? So obviously, all these businesses, you pay on some of the business now you grew, right? So obviously you're paying people salaries, are you?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So they started from somewhere. in Chinese they say the journey of 1,000 miles starts with that what? That first step, right? So she started with that idea, and other people bought that idea, and then she expanded. Interesting. So, okay, and lastly, you want to talk about basically, what do you think, what do you identify as weaknesses? Now, I know we talk about how to grow your businesses, okay, but what would you say is the number one weakness for a small business owner?
Small business owner at some point of time goes in a comfort zone.
Yes.
You know, and then stop expanding. But I say that business is something just like life. You always have to keep pushing. Keep pushing.
Yes. Yeah.
Every day, give it some push.
I think I like the idea where you talk about, hey, you know what? Just be the visionary, okay? And because at some point you're going to be burnt out if you keep doing it, keep working in the business. You have to work on the business. And you live in America, right? Where you have a lot of resources and stuff like that. You say you came to America with only $20 in your pocket, and I know a lot of Indian people that came to America with only $20 in their pocket, and you see them in Indians control a lot of things, you know, and yet it's a small population, right? Because maybe they have the same mindset as you, okay? They're head of Google, they're head of Microsoft, and other companies that they own like 75% of motels in the country. They own that about 60% of all the doctors in America are Indians. What is the secret to that? Is that because they think the way you think?
Is that a racist comment or what?
No, it's not racist at all. It's a thinking, it's a mindset. Right? So let's say somebody's listening to right now, and as a Hispanic or is African American or an African, and they came to this country and not to be poor. I actually wrote a book. My first book in America is called "It's Impossible to Be Poor in America." Yeah, I'm very cognizant of the fact that 43 million people in America are poor. I see, even here in Newark, I see some poor people. There's some homeless people and stuff like that. Okay, but I have the boldness, the audacity to say that it's impossible to be poor in America. You know, would you agree with that? You know, because if you come here,
of course,
you don't come to this country to be, you know, like you said, that lady, she was what? She was cleaning her home. If she continues to clean her home, she's not gonna be able to buy a house, right? She's not be able to buy a house. But you expanded her territory, her horizon of thinking, her mindset, and all of a sudden, man, now she has people cleaning her home, right? And she's doing exactly what she enjoys doing, which I call the triad of awesomeness. And that's what you do. You empower people, right? You empower people and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and I believe in them. And I make them believe in themselves.
I want you to comment on my book. It's impossible to afford. I'm going to write version 2, right? So the first version was released in 2012. But what do you think? You come into this country, no money in your pocket, only $20. And today you're empowering people around the world. Today you're employing people and stuff like that. I mean, I was talking to the lady from Venezuela, you know, where, you know, she was making only $60 a month, and she is an industrial engineer. And her husband making the same amount, mechanical engineer, and it comes to America, and the horizons there is endless. The sky's the limit, right? So I want you to comment on that. You know, my book is Impossible for America. You can say what you want to say. It's okay.
I don't think it is. You're saying it is possible to be poor.
I said it's impossible to be poor in America. So it's like, you know, it's like very bold statement. That means that what I'm trying to say is that if you're poor in America, then, I mean, barring the fact that you're sick and stuff like that, maybe it's because you want to be poor. I know it's very controversial, but I want you to comment on that.
Because I do feel that this country is very fair to people, those who work hard. And your hard work always gets rewarded, and you're trusted.
Yes.
I have all the good experiences from this country. Though I was a struggler, but I will say my struggle didn't go waste.
Yes.
Had I been in my own country, I would have been still struggling.
Right.
This country rewards people, those who are working hard.
Yeah. This only country, for example, hey, you know what, if you're in Russia right now and you're protesting against that war, that stupid war, guess what? They're going to lock you up. You're not going to be able to get a job and all that stuff for the rest of your life and stuff. But you come to America, you can say Biden is a buffoon, okay, or Trump is a fool, and you will not be shot. Nobody's going to kill you.
Right.
This is a great country. And you can start a company tomorrow. And you have people like Dr. Chopra Madan here who can give you, and that's what we do. That's what inspired me to start All About the Bay. Because we say, hey, we'll give you the tools. And you just be amazed, this is where you have YouTube, this is where you have Uber, this is where you have Apple, this is where you have Facebook, you have all these companies, Google, that's right here, right? And we are all about the Bay, and we talk about empowering people, right? I don't have to go places, don't have to pay money. Let me ask you, how much you charge people to sit down with you and talk to you about, empowering them?
I don't charge anything.
Whoa, you see? That's what I'm talking about. She doesn't charge anything, just like we don't charge anything for you to be on this show, All About the Bay, where we empower you. You empower people. So if you're listening to this or watching this, and you know somebody who is a business person or wants to start a business, and they haven't done that, by all means, join our organization, All About the Bay. And by the way, you can talk to this wonderful woman here. She's mellow and stuff. You can think, oh my goodness, power means. No, that's not what power means. Women power is soft. Ooh. Look at mother, huh? They bring kids to this world. Imagine. They can be weak physically, but I don't think they are, really, because a man cannot bring a child into this world. Women do. So that's why we should cherish women, and they have. Tell me about this Women's Day. You have to.
So on 8th of March, there's International Women's Day. It is celebrated all over the world.
Yes.
So we are also celebrating it. So I was asking to make it available for people on that day when it is important day for women. And I also want to tell about our website so that if people want to reach there. It's www.globalwomenpower.com or org.
Wow.
So we can be reached through website and the Facebook page too.
It was a pleasure talking to you today, Dr. Alka Chopra Madan. Is there anything else you would like to tell our audience before part ways?
I think I have talked quite a lot, but then I will say that walking the talk is the most important thing.
Right.
So be in contact and then see what are the various ways you can help us, or you can take help from us.
You know what? So I'm thinking the last 3 interviews I've had so far have been all women. I had an interview with this lady in Birmingham, Hannah Huang, I think, and she's a firebrand. And then we did an interview with a lady over there at Arepas, in Willow Grant, and she has like 100 employees in our country, right? So she has businesses here in America, but she's employing people in Venezuela. She came out of Venezuela with all those stupid governments and wars and all that kind of stuff. She came here, and she has power and stuff like that. And then today, we have this powerful, glowing woman here who's going to change your life, okay? Man, I am enjoying myself. I think you can see that. I'm enjoying myself because I meet all kinds of people, and it all starts with just a dream, So if you're watching this and you've been thinking of starting something, by all means, just start it. Nike says, just do it. And before you realize, you're changing the world. What is the little thing you're doing for our planet? What's the little thing that God has put in your heart to do? What is your purpose? Are you living a purpose-driven life, or you're just living like a dog? You are not a dog, you're a human being. You got a purpose here. You see, she has a purpose. She's found a purpose. She's empowering women, primarily, but also men. She's, you have a business that's struggling, sit down with her, it's free. Okay, you can call her anytime. So, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Thank you.
You can contact us at www.globalwomenpower.com or globalwomenpower.org, and you can reach us at 510-830-8771, and we are available 24/7.
Thanks for watching. If you know of any small business owners who would like to take advantage of our lively interviews, please ask them to contact us at service@allaboutthebay.org. And remember to subscribe to our channel as we post new interviews there weekly.